Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Okay, in episode 346 of Peter trying to find the perfect filming place in a hotel room in Mexico, today we are sitting up against the bathroom wall. And I have tried to film this video like 3 or 4 times, and the tripod keeps on falling, and then stuff keeps on happening, and I'm like, okay, and I had all kinds of jokes and songs and all kinds, girl, we had all kinds of business going on up in this video today, okay? But we're not doing that no more, okay? We're not doing that no more. We're gonna get right into the drama today. So, I have some things to say, okay? Yesterday, I made a video about Jeffree Pookie Star, who came out and said that he was suing the U.S. government. Oh no, girl, he is. He is suing the U.S. government. Miss Pookie Star, she is suing the U.S. government, baby. She is Miss Jeffree Pookie Star in a sequin pantsuit against the U.S. government, baby, coming to a theater near you, okay? He is going, no, you might just, he said in his TikTok, he said, you think that I'm just a stupid guy in makeup, but you'll see, I'm suing it, I'm suing it. I'm suing the U.S. government, okay? You go, girl. You go, Glenn Coco, Jeffree Pookie Star. You go, girl. You sue the U.S. government for your First Amendment rights, okay? He said, people think I'm stupid. Well, I don't think you're stupid for wanting to sue the U.S. government for, I guess, whatever you want to. Sue whoever you want to, girl, okay? What I think you're stupid for is acting like you're the first person to do it when I proved in my video yesterday off of a quick Google search, okay, that's already happening, okay? TikTok is backing 8 TikTokers that are already suing the U.S. government for violation of their First Amendment rights, okay? So Jeffree Star coming out. He's a little late to the game, okay, girl? Maybe a little too many Red Bulls are frying his brain. I don't know. But he came out and he acts like he is the first person. People are going to think I'm crazy. No, I'm taking all my money and I'm going to sue the U.S. government. Girl, you could have just gotten into that class action suit, okay? You didn't have to actually do it yourself in a sequin pantsuit. You could have joined the class action suit. Okay, but no, you're going to do it on your own because you're better than everybody else, right? So he comes out with this thing. But that wasn't really what got me in the TikTok, okay? What got me was that he came out and he said, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, we've had a long run, baby, 10 years, okay? When some makeup companies have been around for like 50, 60 years, you know? He's like, we have had a really long run, and they are not gonna take TikTok from us. They cannot. This is where I sell all my things now, because I left the YouTube, because I said the YouTube doesn't have any views anymore, and I hardly ever post on Instagram, and I've gone to the TikTok, because the TikTok's trendy, and that's where all the kids are, so that's where I took my shit, and now I'm battling it out, okay? Calling people a bunch of pookies, and coming for their teeth, and being really nasty as a CEO of a makeup company. Now they're trying to take away that platform from me. I don't know if Jeffree Pookie Star is more upset that he won't be able to battle on TikTok or sell his shit on TikTok, okay? Because I don't think that shit's selling anywhere, okay? I don't think it's selling anywhere. I mean, he has so much inventory of it. You can see it online, okay? He has so much inventory of those palettes. I mean, he can't even get rid of those old palettes. I can't believe people are still buying those old palettes, because it's not like he's still making them. So those palettes, are they expired? I mean, you know, makeup has expiration dates on it. Y'all makeup people out there, you know that. Some of those, I mean, I'm like, baby, I wouldn't put that stuff on my eyes. What's the expiration date on those things that are going into the mystery bags? He had mystery boxes. Those wouldn't sell, okay? Now he's got these mystery pencil bags or something like that. There's no mirror in it. People are like, I saw underneath there, people are like, because this was from the holiday mystery bags. People are like, is there a mirror in there? I wanted to say, you dumbass, do you think a mirror could fit in there? What is it, a miniature mirror? I'm like, seriously? It's a bag, it's a pencil bag this big. What kind of mirror fits in there? They're like, does a mirror come with it? Does a hoodie? Does a 2XL hoodie look like it would fucking fit in a pencil bag? Like, let's be for real, okay? You're getting maybe one liquid lipstick. You're getting some kind of stupid smelly sticker or something, okay? It probably smells like weed or something. And then you're getting a coupon code, okay, to buy more shit off of Jeffree Star Cosmetics and maybe one of Shane Dawson's slimes. That's what you're getting in that mystery box, okay? Mystery boxes equal, I can't get rid of this shit, is what it equals, okay? And he can't even get rid of those mystery bags. So anyway, he comes out and he claims on this TikTok that he is one of not makeup, not beauty, not indie makeup, not indie beauty, okay? But he is one of the top 3 selling brands on TikTok. I was like, you are what, girl? You are what? This is what kills me, okay? Is the Jeffree Star fans that eat this shit up and believe it, okay? Now, I don't know. I don't go over the TikTok very often, okay? I don't go over the TikTok that often at all. Now, my husband, he loves the TikTok, okay? My cousin, my friends, they all love the TikTok. I only go over the TikTok if I have to find something, okay? But I know enough by going through the TikTok that Michaela Nagara comes up about every 2 seconds, and people selling shit like vacuum cleaners and steamers and stuff like that, okay, in the TikTok shop. I don't ever get no ads for Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I don't ever see reviews of Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I don't ever see anything from Jeffree Star Cosmetics coming up, okay? Which means if it's one of the top 3 selling brands, it has to be all generated from his TikToks. But his TikToks he does some Jeffree Star approved TikToks over there every once in a while. But mostly his relevance on TikTok is battling people, okay? Not selling his shit. He goes live every once in a while and sells his shit like the day after it comes out or the day before it comes out, the day before it comes out. But other than that, he's not like really selling his shit. So I did a quick Google search, okay? Something Jeffree Star could have done to find out that people are already suing the U.S. government, okay? And also to find out that he is not the top 3 selling brands on TikTok. I mean, it took me 30 seconds to look it up, okay? Well, I looked through it took me 30 seconds to find it out, but I probably spent, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes reading these articles, okay? And I looked up best selling or top brands on TikTok, top selling brands on TikTok, highest trending brands on TikTok, makeup, indie makeup, or beauty, indie beauty. I looked up everything you possibly could look up, okay? And underneath either of those came up probably 100 articles. And I read, I don't know, skimmed probably 20 or 30 articles underneath those things, okay? Now, I got a couple comments on my video yesterday. This is how, like, tell me you're a Jeffree Star superfan without telling me you're a Jeffree Star superfan, okay? That a couple people were like, I understand those lists and stuff like that, but a lot of people pay to be on those lists and those articles. Like people were citing like different like makeup, you know, different magazines and things like that. Okay, I understand that. I'm not new. I didn't wake up yesterday. Okay, I know like when the Indianapolis Monthly, I live in Indianapolis Monthly. I live in Indianapolis, and there's the Indianapolis Monthly. Okay, when they put out like the top 10 hairstylists of Indianapolis, I'm not stupid. Okay, I know those people paid to be on that list. I totally get that. Okay. I totally understand when the top 10 restaurants in Chicago Magazine are on there, that probably most of them paid to be on that list, okay? I get that. I understand how marketing works, all right? I even get it on the level of like Cosmopolitan and Vogue. Hell, just last year, James Charles and Colleen Ballinger paid to have interviews done on them, okay? So yes, I fully understand how that works. Unfortunately, I do not believe that Judy Smith's blog with 20 views an article and Sally Jones' list on TikTok is coming up with, they're coming up with ad sales that Jeffree Star Cosmetics or Gucci or Duolingo can probably buy from them, okay? When they're maybe getting 20 views an article. What was interesting to me is that consistently across the board, okay, when I read these articles, whether they were from National Public Radio, which apparently is a total sellout and takes ads from anybody, but National Public Radio, okay, I mean, I was like reading Forbes, these lists were like on Forbes, they were on articles like written on like major, you know, magazines like that, all the way down to like Sally Jones' fashion blog, okay, or blog, right? And they were all, the lists were consistent. Across the board, it was always like Huda Beauty, Rare Beauty, Rogue Skincare. I mean, it was consistent across the board, okay? And there were even lists of like indie brands as well. Not to mention that when I looked at brands, okay, it was consistent. It was Duolingo. It was at Ryanair. It was at, it was a Red Bull. It was Gucci. Gucci was on all those lists. Are you telling me that Gucci, that you really believe in defense of Jeffree Star, that Gucci is paying Susie Jones' blog, okay, of 20 views to be on her list, when her list is completely different than all these other ones, but some of the things are consistent on there? No, that's not it. Do I believe that people pay to be on those lists? Yes, I do, okay? But when you see 5 or 10 brands that are on numerous articles, and yes, I do know that several articles cross-reference other articles, but not like, Forbes isn't like taking their list from NPR. I mean, NPR and Forbes list were very, very similar. And not only that, but when I started getting those comments, well, actually the comments were rather glowing. The people were like, oh my God, Peter, I missed you. How are you doing? Mexico looks so good on you. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I went in and I was like, I have to find this again. And so I actually did find where TikTok actually puts out a list, okay? They put out a list of their trendiest, hottest selling fashion items, makeup items, blah, blah, blah. The same list was there, okay? You can Google search it too. I actually have it pulled up right here. And the list is called TikTok Case Studies, Success Stories, and Inspirational Brand Results. It's right off of TikTok, okay? It's actually ads.tiktok.com, okay? So that's right off of TikTok. On there, it says Huda Beauty. It says Rare Beauty. It says Rhode Skincare. I mean, it's the same brands over and over and over again, okay? And there's indie brands on there as well. Jeffree Star's not on there anywhere, okay? When you are going to get in a TikTok live or a TikTok or YouTube video or magazine article or an Instagram post or anything as a CEO of a company, and you are going to claim financial success that you are one of the top 3 biggest brands, not indie makeup brand. He didn't say that. He said brand, okay? On TikTok. You better bring the evidence. Like, that's a pretty bold fucking statement to say that, okay? And this is like one of the huge issues that I have with Jeffree Star, is that here's Jeffree Star in the story and the narrative that he tells, and over there somewhere is the truth, and he ain't going to look and find it, okay? It's like when I watched the Tana Mojo Cancel podcast with him, the interview, and he was talking about how we did, like, I mean, the shit he spilled on that podcast was a joke. I didn't even get all the way through it, okay? Because I was watching this interview with him, he's like, yes, girl, and we didn't even know anything that was going on. The fuck you didn't, Jeffree Star, okay? The fact that every OG drama channel that was there when that went down isn't on video calling you out right now because you don't have any relevance anymore should bless you, okay? Because I'm just telling you right now, we were all there. You were talking to half of us on the phone, all right? You weren't talking to me at that point, but you were talking to half of us on the phone, giving people inside information about Tati Westbrook's video dropping, okay? You knew about James Charles long before the allegations came out. You told people that. You tweeted it out afterwards. This is why my boyfriend doesn't want him over at our house. Girl, you were so in it, so deep. Now to come out and act like you didn't even know what was going on, you were just trying to sell makeup? No, baby, that's not the truth, okay? What you were trying to do, okay, was get rid of James Charles, and that's what you had on him. And quite frankly, this is the thing that Tati Westbrook got right, okay, was when Tati Westbrook said in one of her videos, I made jokes of it 1,000 times, because she's like, he's gonna come get us. What she said was, okay, that Jeffree Star, if she called out Jeffree Star, he was gonna start coming towards them, okay? I, in retrospect, think that she was a little afraid of her sobriety story coming out and that Jeffree Star was going to some way use that against her, okay? I think that was what she was afraid of at that time. And I praise Miss Tati Westbrook for coming out with her sobriety story. I think she's helping so many people, okay? I think anytime anybody shares personal stories or personal journeys of their life, they're really helping people. But I never really understood, you know, like, what does she mean? Well, what I know now is this. It didn't really matter that it was James Charles, okay? This is where it's really, really important that we understand that at that time, that drama channels were covering James Charles and Jeffree Star, which is why I'm going to show how they're reacting to TikTok equally today, and the ban on TikTok. When we were, at that time, us drama channels that were covering it, like, Jeffree Star would pass James Charles on subscribers on YouTube, and we would make a video, and the video would be called James Charles Passes Jeffree Star, and it would get 30,000 views. People were so interested in it. The next day, James Charles would pass Jeffree Star. They were like this, they were like neck and neck, okay? Jeffree Star has never cared about the allegations of James Charles. The only reason he cared about the allegations of James Charles was because it was the weapon that he could use to take down James Charles. James Charles was in his way for him selling the biggest cash grab in the history of makeup, okay? And that was the Conspiracy Palette collaboration that he did with Shane Dawson. If James Charles had been there, okay, and he was succeeding on the level that he had been when he put out the Morphe palette and before his cancellation, Jeffree and Shane's, what they did would not be there. Not to mention, and I've mentioned this so many times, and I think that, like, this is such a huge piece. James Charles had come out with a 10-part documentary that he had outlined, okay? The entire thing was going to be from him developing the Morphe palette all the way to the release of the Morphe palette. It was a 10-part series that he put together, okay? It wasn't just a little bit of this and a little bit of that and let us sell you a palette at the end like Shane Dawson's series. It was a 10-part, heavily outlined series, okay? That several drama channels were going to be in. He was going to fly me in here for the tea out there. He was going to interview us. He was going to have us be interviewed by a lot of the beauty influencers. He was going to show how drama played into it, something Shane Dawson was not willing to do into it, okay? He was going to show picking out the colors. He was going to show doing that, which Jeffree Star did. When that all came down at the very end, okay, Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star were the ones that told James Charles not to do that. He thought that documentary shouldn't be done, okay? And so he didn't end up doing that documentary. Just for Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star to come out with it later. But in between James Charles doing the documentary or coming out with he had an outline of it, okay? I mean, he had each episode what it was planned to be, okay? In between him not deciding not to do that and Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star releasing their collaboration and that huge, huge video series, was the cancellation of James Charles. The cancellation of James Charles had to occur for Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson to release the palette and be successful in that documentary. If they hadn't, if James Charles had released that documentary and never had a cancellation, then Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. People would have said James Charles already did this and he's bigger than you. James Charles had to be canceled for Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson to be successful, okay? We all know that behind the scenes. Jeffree Star has never given a shit about the victims, the allegations. He has only cared, okay, about the fact that James Charles stood in his way. And to be honest with you, I know for a fact, because I've been told this by numerous people, including Gabby Hanna, that told me that Jeffree Star supposedly records people saying racist language and things like that so you can use it against him. I don't know that I think it really mattered who it was, if you want to know the truth. I don't think it mattered if it was Manny or Laura or James Charles, but they just weren't on that level. If it had been Toddy Westbrook, I don't think it mattered who it was, okay? Whoever was in the way of him and Jeffree Star releasing that palette, they were going to take down. That was the case, okay? And I don't even think that that was a Shane Dawson thing. I think that was a Jeffree Star thing that Jeffree Star convinced Shane Dawson. I think Shane probably went into it and thought, no, we can do this thing anyway. And Jeffree's like, no, without James, with James is around, we cannot do that. Jeffree Star is a huge part of the takedown of James Charles, okay? And I think he fed a lot of information out there that got out there. And rightfully so. James Charles was doing, like, really nasty shit, okay? And needs to be held accountable for that. But I think that Jeffree Star had a huge part of that, right? So when he was to rewrite this history, like on the Tana Mojo podcast, and say, like, oh, we weren't part of it. No, you weren't part of it. You were at the head of it, is what you were, okay? You were the head of the snake. That's the truth, okay? And people don't really want to look at how that all went down. In retrospect, having covered it this closely, I'm like, okay, you were a huge part of it. In fact, in retrospect, the way that you were playing drama, I mean, I'm not even entirely sure that Jeffree Star, because he was the first person to start reaching out to drama channels, okay? He reached out to all of us. I'm not entirely sure in retrospect that he wasn't reaching out to us to manipulate the story about James Charles in a way that would look good for him. I'm not entirely sure, because I can tell you right now, I was the only one that came out and called that thing, that cash grab. And when I called it a cash grab, I had drama channels calling me up and being like, did you really come for Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson on video? Like, that was not a good look, okay? And I was so like, am I going to lose my channel? Like, are they going to come for me? I didn't even know what to do. That I got on video and I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch the footage. And if I change my mind, then I'll come back here and I'll change my mind. Because I was so worried. I was like, what is going on? I mean, it was a scary time, you know? It was a really, really scary time. And so he had all the drama channels. I mean, this was the time of the payroll. This is why it is such a huge deal when we have beauty influencers, okay, that are problematic and drama-filled and support James Charles. When we have them in videos with people like Spill Sesh, okay? It's why I take such a huge issue with it, because at that time, we were just crucified for being on the payroll and doing what they wanted us to do. And there were a few of us that stepped away, okay? And then everybody stepped away. Well, most people stepped away. But Jeffree Star thought he owned all of us at that point. And in retrospect, I mean, we were just all like mesmerized, like, oh my God, it's a beauty influencer, and they're reaching out to us, and we were just fans, you know? And I think in retrospect, I think it wasn't just he was trying to like, I can literally remember, I can look it up in my phone right now, text messages of Jeffree Star that he sent me, where he would put up, I mean, literally, James Charles would have a tweet out, and literally 2 to 3 minutes later, I hadn't even seen it yet, and Jeffree would text me the screenshot of the tweet of James Charles, like, screenshot, cut, okay, and everything, sent it to me and said, are you going to let him get away with this? And I'm like, I don't even know what this is about, Jeffree. Like, I don't even know what you're talking, I haven't even been on Twitter to see what it's about, okay? So he rewrites history so much. So do I take issue that a CEO of a makeup company, I mean, he wants to wield that around and talk about like, oh, we're successful, are you successful in lies? You know, other people have come out and shown their numbers. Toddy Westbrook did. Why don't you show your numbers, Jeffree Star? You talk about how successful you are. Why don't you show that? Because this was my thing yesterday. This is why I had to take to the Google to look up if he really is a top 3 selling brands, okay? Because you can't find that information anywhere, all right? Anywhere. Anywhere. You cannot find that information anywhere. There is not anywhere, no, I thought, okay, like Billboard Top 100 or whatever, that there would be some list out there that would be like that TikTok put out or whatever that would say, these are our top 10 brands currently on TikTok. These are our top makeup brands. These are our top indie brands. There's nothing like that, okay? So where he is coming up with that number is beyond. It's like Jeffree Star always has done. Just pick something out, okay? When in reality, what we know in retrospect is that Jeffree Star was somebody that was putting out colorful makeup at a time that nobody was. It was very nude palette. He was very edgy and different. He was in your face. He was doing Jeffree Star approved products, like, yes, this is shit, I don't want it, no, I love this, blah, blah, whatever. He was something different than we had seen before. Everybody ate it up, and that's what sold his makeup. His makeup is really not that grand, okay? And I think we know that. I've had so many people that love makeup go, his makeup shit, okay? His makeup is shit, and he knows that, and he's not selling any more of it anymore, okay? So he has to continue to act like he's super grand. Well, I made this video yesterday, and you guys were like, I thought the interesting comment was that a lot of people were like, does Jeffree Star not realize that TikTok's not his First Amendment rights, that he doesn't have a right to social media? I mean, people were like so funny. You guys were so funny in the comments, right? Okay, so I got done with the video, and then I started watching like other people that had made videos about the same thing, because I wanted to see like kind of what the take was, what other people said. Like I said this a couple weeks ago. I'll film a video, but I don't typically like watch videos about the exact same subject from other people until I have already like covered it myself, because I don't want it to influence what I'm saying about it, if that makes sense. Like if somebody's covering like Laura Lee leaving, you know, Laura Lee Los Angeles or closing it down, like if I see somebody that in the title of somebody's video, I won't watch it until I've covered it, because I don't want that to affect my stance on something, if that makes sense. It's something that a lot of people do. So anyway, I got done and I was watching it, and I noticed that Skeleton had put up this, am I pronouncing it right? I don't know. Is it Tim? I love his videos. I absolutely love his videos. And, because I think he's like, he reminds me so much of kind of how we were back in the early days, but I think that he's offering a creative, different point of view. And I think his videos are very well thought out. I really like his videos. So, he did this video on Jeffree Star. Well, I thought his video was about what I had done, about the TikTok ban. So I went in and I started watching this video. So he doesn't know me, I don't know him, I don't think I've ever talked to him, but hey, I think his name's Tim. It's Skeleton. So is his name Tim? But Tim anyway, I love your videos. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, how are you? So I'm watching this video, and it's a different clip that he's shown in there. And I'm like, what is this? Like, it was a different Jeffree Star clip. So I watched the whole thing, and I had to see what he had to say and all this kind of stuff. And in this clip that he shows, I'm going to show it to you guys here in just a second, but in this clip, Jeffree Star is talking about how he's not looking for like, because a lot of TikTokers right now are looking for exit plans, and they're looking for like, what are we going to do next, and blah, 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 whatever. And he's like, I'm not looking for an exit plan. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do this, blah, 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 whatever. He's like, we're not coming up with an exit plan. He's like, this man should not have to sell TikTok to the U.S. government, okay? And I'm watching this, and first of all, he gives me very high school principal, scolding the class at the auditorium, okay, for one person getting caught smoking pot, and now nobody's going to the homecoming dance, okay? That's what it gives me. He's like, Katie, Judy smoked pot in the bathroom, now nobody can go to the homecoming class. I know, it's sad. I know it's sad. It's going to be a hard weekend. It's going to be a rough weekend. We're all going to be at home doing homework this weekend, but we'll find a way to get through it somehow. We'll get through it somehow. But I want you all to think about this, okay? This is what it's giving me, okay? It's giving me high school class scolded, okay? Over one, you remember that? It's like the high school, you know, like the trip that y'all are going on or whatever. I never went on those trips. But that one person gets busted and then the whole school is busted. You know what I'm talking about? That's what Jeffree Star gives me. But then he comes out, I mean, Jeffree Star, baby, you need to go on Jeopardy and take, I'll Google something for $1,000. Because I don't think that man has Google on his phone. I just don't, okay? The shit that comes out of his mouth. Then he goes in and he says, the U.S. is the only place that is worried about the TikTok. And I'm like, what, girl? You really don't keep up with news at all, do you? For a CEO of a makeup company, for claiming to be so world-traveled, he claims in there all the different places in the world that he has tipped. Okay, this is such a sad statement to me. He doesn't say, like, I've been to this country, I've traveled to this country. As a CEO, I've looked into the economics of this country. I've looked into the financial background of this country. I've looked into affordable, you know, what people can afford as far as makeup in this country. That would make sense to me as a CEO of a makeup company, okay? He doesn't say any of that. What he says is, I have tipped people on TikTok lives in all these countries. And I'm like, girl, you are such an embarrassment, okay? You are such an embarrassment. If you got on there and said, as a CEO of a makeup company, I have done extensive researches on almost every country around the world because I sell to every country in the world, okay? I've looked at their finances, I looked at their economic structure, I've looked at their security, breaches and things like that. And based on my research and what my company has done, okay, because we sell to all these different markets in these different countries, what I can tell you is blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say that. Okay, he says the U.S. government is the only government that is worried about the TikTok ban, okay? Or worried and they have to ban TikTok. And he knows this because he has tipped people in every other country. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that that's not true, but let me Google it, okay? And while I'm Googling it, I'm gonna let you watch Jeffree Star's TikTok, all right? So, you ready? Roll the footage, Dolores!
Okay, and guess what? He shouldn't have to sell it! What are they doing wrong? He shouldn't have to sell this app. So they're still negotiating. No decision has made final, but a lot of people are anxious, and I don't blame them. It's gonna be a rough weekend. Full of anxiety. So many small businesses and entrepreneurs are scared right now. As is any other big corporation or medium brand. Compared to makeup like giants, like Estee Lauder is like $1 billion corporation, right? Jeffree Star Cosmetics is very big, but I'm still an indie brand. We've had massive success, y'all. Massive success. In 10 years, it's been a beautiful, wild journey, but no one owns me. I own my brand. I don't have investors. I don't have a corporation behind me. So, listen, I really hope and pray from the heavens above that TikTok at the final hour, it all works out and we're laughing about this on the stream, okay? I really do. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it all weekend. I'm gonna fuck fest that everything fixes itself, okay? For real. Dominic, thank you for saying that. Armstrong, there was not a final decision today. Monday morning, the Supreme Court goes back into it. And if there is a real final decision, then we'll go from there, you guys. But I'm not trying to talk about a backup plan right now. I want to live this reality because I fucking TikTok and I love this app and I love all of you guys. Katie, the American government has decided to ban the app. No other country cares. No other continent is worried about it. Not one other country. As one of the biggest gifters on this app, I've gifted people in Finland, Sweden, Italy, Australia, South Africa, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. I mean, I have gifted creators from all over this fucking world. Brazil, hello, Portugal, Dominican Republic. Every other country is going to be using that app but us. We're the laughing stocks of the world, aren't we? Our government, because we're not, our government has made America the laughing stocks of the whole world. Whew, that's tough to hear. You're right, it is all about control, you guys. It makes me sick. Absolutely sick. Imagine the government trying to control us. Oh, got it. I thought we were the land of the free. I thought everyone came here to pursue their dreams. The American dream, to be who you want to be. No, let's take the app away. Huh? Makes me sick. Okay, before I get down a 20-minute rant, I want to put on some foundation. I want to film a review. I want to put out some content today. And I want to distract myself for a little bit. Okay? I want to distract myself for a little bit and review some foundation and try to have a laugh. Okay? I watered the plants 20 minutes ago and I just want to have a laugh, you guys. Is that okay? Can we review the Anastasia Foundation? I'll review the Hourglass tomorrow.
Okay, so there's Jeffree Star, Pookie Lynn Star. She back. Okay, she's like, now Katie. It's the U.S. government, Katie. The U.S. government was smoking pot in the bathroom. So none of us are going to homecoming dance this weekend. Yeah, I know. It's going to be a hard weekend. It's going to be a hard week. Totally giving high school principal. It's going to be a hard weekend for all of us. We're going to be doing math sheets the whole weekend. Math sheets for all of us. Oh, fuck, not math sheets. Katie, why did you ask a question? Well, Katie, should have been smoking pot in the bathroom. That's all I'm saying. It totally gives me high school principal, okay? So I'm watching this, and I'm like, I don't even get on the fucking TikTok, okay? But I keep up with some stuff that's going on in the world every once in a while, you know what I mean? I watch the Harlan Coben shows. They mostly take place overseas. So I kind of keep up with some, no, I'm joking. I keep up with world events, okay? I'm not ignorant, okay? And I don't get all my news off the TikTok. Now, I think it's interesting that people are so worried about the TikTok ban because of their news that they get from the TikTok. They don't get their news from the TikTok. Okay, so I'm like, okay, Jeffree, I'm pretty sure there have been other countries that either they're banned, like for government officials because of security breaches that they're worried. I mean, I remember when this first started being talked about, that there were other countries that were putting safety measures into place. And so I looked it up, and I actually found an article, okay, which I guess these countries probably paid to be on this list. I don't know. But the article is called China Weighs Sale of TikTok US. Oh, no, that's my next article. Hold on, that's about Elon Musk. Anyway, people are saying Elon Musk is going to buy TikTok. TikTok's actually come out and said that that's not true, just so you know, okay? But right here, you can go up and you can look it up. It says, TikTok, firm calls report a possible sale to Elon Musk, pure fiction. That was 22 hours ago. Okay, but I found this article. It's called TikTok ban from US to Canada. Here's a list of countries that have banned TikTok. And this is from November 8th of 2024 on Gadgets Now. And it goes in to talk about all the different countries and what they have. So it goes in here for different countries. Afghanistan goes into about the Taliban banned TikTok in April 22, citing its misleading influence of the country's youth. The move aligns Afghanistan's restrictive cultural policies, where the government exercises strict control over media and extend to enforce its societal norms. Armenia and Azerbaijan, during periods of military tension, including recent border clashes, these two countries have temporarily blocked TikTok. Australia, TikTok has been banned on government devices in Australia since April of 2023. However, the general public can still access and use the app, suggesting that Australia's primary concern lies in protecting sensitive government data. Austria, Denmark, and the European Union. Several European nations, including Austria and Denmark, as well as institutions within the European Union, have restricted TikTok on government-issued devices. European security agencies are concerned about the possibility of foreign access to user data, especially with China's growing influence in technology. India enacted a comprehensive ban on TikTok in 2020 after a deadly border clash with China. The government cited national security as a reason, marking one of the first full-scale bans on the app worldwide. Indian content creators previously very active on TikTok moved to other platforms such as YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels to maintain their audiences. Indonesia. In October 2023, Indonesia banned TikTok's shop feature, citing violations of local e-commerce regulations. The country's selective restriction is an example of how governments may choose to regulate specific functionalities of an app to align with local laws rather than banning it outright. Iran and Pakistan. Both countries have intermittently blocked TikTok, often citing social, moral, or ethical concerns. Iran has long restricted internet access to global platforms, including TikTok, as part of broader controls on content that conflicts with its government values. The United States, Congress, and the U.S. military have banned or barred TikTok from all government devices, and around half of U.S. states have adopted their similar restrictions for state-owned devices. The primary concern in the U.S. is foreign access to personal data, as there are fears that the Chinese government could exploit their user information for intelligence purposes. Russia. Although TikTok is still accessible in Russia, users are mainly shown content generated within the country. This restriction reflects Russia's increasing control over online information and its efforts to limit foreign influence on Russian users. And it goes in here and says other countries. It talks about Canada banning it from the government and things like that. Nepal. It goes on and lists other countries. So the fact that Jeffree Star, even on just India alone, okay, the fact that Jeffree Star says no other country is concerned about this, all right, when it's obvious that many other countries are concerned about security breaches, okay? Now, some of the countries I listed, I can understand why. I don't really understand it, okay? I'm not somebody that is super worried. I mean, I put all of my life stories out there anyway, so, and I got like 10 million people that are faking me with my picture. Go over to my Instagram. I have a tab that says fakes on it. I get my picture is fake so many times. My identity has been stolen so many times that they could make an entire 2-year show called Catfish all about my picture being used, okay? I am like, to be honest with you, let me tell you how I really feel about the TikTok ban, okay? I am not real concerned about it because my job's not on TikTok. I don't look at TikToks. I don't really care about TikTok, okay? The only reason I ever go to TikTok is if I have to find something like Jeffree Star's stuff. But if I have to find that and he goes to Instagram, then I'll just find it over on the Instagram or YouTube. I mean, TikTok's not where I have to be. What I do think is interesting about this is when I'm reading articles, like I looked up the TikTok ban last night, and there's articles written by like CNN and places like that are like, let's prepare, how are we going to prepare for the TikTok ban, okay? What do we need to put in place for the TikTok ban? And I'm like, what? Like, are we really seriously planning? I mean, I understand that TikTok puts billions of dollars out into our economy. I understand that, okay? I think for that reason alone, maybe we need to look at it, okay? I'm not too concerned about my private information being sold to China, okay? I don't know nobody in China, okay? If they want my social security number, I'll probably give it to them. In fact, I probably have. I probably have already given it to them by buying shit on Amazon and stuff like that, okay? I don't know. But all I know is this, okay? I'm not too concerned about my personal information being stolen. Now, I will tell you this, that I've had data breaches in the United States, okay? When I bought things at Sephora and Saks Fifth Avenue, non-Chinese owned companies. So I'm not concerned too much, okay, about my social security number. I mean, I talk about my birthday every year. People can figure out my birthday real easily. You know, everything about me is Googleable. Most everything about everybody is Googleable, okay? So are they going to get rid of Google next? God, I fucking hope not, because then I won't know if snakes poop anymore. But anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that, okay? But I do think, like, I think it's a weird vibe. Like, okay, I feel two ways about this. Like, we got a lot of issues in the United States, okay? We got a lot of seriously fucked up issues, okay? We got a fucked up economy. We got homelessness in our country, okay? We got LGBTQIA plus people worried like crazy, including myself, about my marriage rights, okay? And my human rights, okay? Trans women of color are being killed on a daily basis in our country, okay? Women's rights are being taken away. We got all kinds of stuff that people are worried about in this country. And our biggest concern is the fucking TikTok. That confuses the shit out of me, okay? That's where our number one concern needs to be, all right? But that being said, all these people that want to go batshit crazy, okay, over the TikTok ban and writing articles about how we have to prepare for it, and Jeffree starts talking about how hard weekend it is, baby, I hope you bring that same energy to all those issues that I just listed, okay? I hope you bring the same fucking energy when it comes to women's rights and LGBTQIA plus rights and homelessness, okay? And people out there dying of starvation every single day. Okay? And addicts and alcoholics that will never make it to see one day of recovery. I hope that we bring the same fucking issues out there, okay? Or untreated mental health issues in our country, because mental health treatment is so expensive in our country, okay? Or addiction treatment is so expensive in our country and not easily accessible. I hope we bring the same fucking energy to those issues that are never talked about on a regular basis as we do to a fucking TikTok ban, okay? That's what I hope about this. So while Miss Jeffree Pookie Lynn Starr wants to get on there and talk about how his money is going to be gone, okay? You are so rich, baby, okay? That, first of all, if you look at his TikTok, he is totally shading Laura Lee and Jaclyn Hill and all those people in that video, because he's like, I own my own company, okay? Laura Lee just came out and said she is looking for partners in his video. He watches all this shit so closely. She just came out and said she's looking for partners, okay? For her skincare line. You think Jeffree Star isn't shading her when he says, I own my own company, I don't have any partners or companies backing me? He is shading the shit, okay? He hates Morphe. He is shading the shit out of Jaclyn Hill, and why they stand by him is beyond me. Why Jaclyn Hill continues to stand behind Jeffree Star is beyond me. These people are so shady. This is how you know how fucking shady these people are, okay? Jeffree Star is best friends with Lipstick Nick. I think she's the worst, okay? Lipstick Nick, I would never tell her a secret in my entire life, okay? These people are idiots. I don't know what that woman's got on these people, but she is best friends with Jeffree Star, and then she's hanging out with James Charles, okay? I don't know about you, but if my best Judy started hanging out with my worst enemy, I'd be like, fuck you, we are done, okay? Listen, I am mature all day long, but when it comes to one of my friends going to the total opposite side, I'd be like, baby, you picked a side, okay? You picked a side. It's like if one of your girlfriends, like, you know, I had a girlfriend of mine, and her ex was horrible to her, okay? I mean, horrible. The shit that we found out afterwards was unbelievable. I got one girlfriend that is still friends with her ex, okay? And I'm like, travels with him and stuff, and his new girlfriend. And this girl is still so nice to her. And I'm like, baby, no. No is a complete sentence. You need to be done with that stuff. These people move so shady to protect their business. All they care about is money, okay? We are hearing all this shit online about the ban on TikTok and the ban on this and ban on that and ban on this, okay? Women's rights are in jeopardy. LGBTQI plus people's rights are in jeopardy. Trans people of color are being killed every single day, okay? You know? The economy sucks. People can't afford anything out there anymore, all right? And then there are people out there that can't afford mental health treatment. They're dying from mental health treatment, okay? Lack of mental health treatment. I know people are like, they're dying from that? Yes, they're dying, okay? Read between the lines. There are people out there that are addicts and alcoholics because of the stigmatization of mental health and addiction treatment. We don't care about that. We care about the fact that somebody can get on and fucking post a TikTok. Get the fuck over it, okay? Get the fuck over it. And if you care that much about that, I hope you bring the other issues to other stuff. We just had mass wildfires in Los Angeles, okay? That took down half that city and left so many people homeless and people dead. People have lost everything out there. And we are concerned about a fucking TikTok ban. Can somebody explain that shit to me? There is more important stuff going on in the world right now, okay? Jeffree, while you're sitting there talking about how you're going to sue the U.S. government over the ban of TikTok, why don't you start talking about this and talking about these issues? You got such a big platform. You're such a big man on TikTok, okay? Why don't you talk about the shit that you care about? Oh, because you don't care about that shit, okay? You only move when it means money, just like all these people do, all right? That's the only thing you do. And you prove that you're an idiot and you don't even know how to use the Google. You prove that. That's obvious you don't know how to use the Google, because I've used it in 2 videos to show them what an idiot you are, okay? You might not just be what you define yourself as, a dumb guy in makeup, but you sure are an idiot. Because there's an app out there other than TikTok, okay? And it's called the Google. And you can get it on your computer, you can get it on your phone, you can get it on your tablet, okay? And all you have to do is Google some shit out there, all right? That's all you have to do. Instead of keep on spinning things out there. Because this is the thing, all right? If you are going to try to back up your stance based on lies, those lies are debatable. They're dismissible, okay? So when you want to come out and say, you should listen to me because I am the 3rd top selling brand on TikTok. Next to Red Bull and Gucci, okay, and Duolingo, you're the top selling brand. He didn't say makeup brand, he's a brand, okay? I'm taking it at face value. You're the 3rd top selling brand, okay? Well, if that's a lie, then should we listen to the rest of you? You say you're going to sell TikTok, or sue TikTok, or sue the government. When's that lawsuit coming out, okay? You sit here and you talk about no other government is concerned about it except for the U.S. A simple Google search would have proved that wrong to you. But you back up your stance with lies, okay? That you don't even educate yourself on to try to find out anything. You don't talk about anything importance. And so what it all comes down to is you're fucking concerned you're not going to be able to sell a palette on TikTok. Isn't that true? And cuss a bunch of people out on TikTok. And make fun of people for their drinking issues, okay? Like you did that one woman, or their teeth, like you did with the other woman. Continue to be the person that you've been 20 years ago, okay? So when you talk about Jeffree Star Cosmetics being around for 10 years, you're right. Jeffree Star Cosmetics has been around for 10 years. And Jeffree Star has been around for a lot longer and been a shittier person for a lot longer, okay? And continues to be, and continues to lie, right? You want to talk about violation of freedom of your First Amendment rights of free speech. Jeffree Star, you want to talk about how you try to take down drama channels back in the day? You try to silence all of us, girl. Okay, I know for a fact somebody you tried to silence over a video series they were going to do on Jaclyn Hill. You tried to silence several drama channels over that, okay? You want to talk about taking away somebody's First Amendment rights? You got some fucking nerve, baby. You are bold, okay? You are bold to get in a video and talk about how you are going to sue for First Amendment rights, violation of free speech, okay? When you tried to take away drama channels' rights to speak about you, all right? And sending us text messages about how we're ruining your business. Baby, if you are so big, no video of mine getting 20,000 views is going to ruin any business of yours, okay? Trying to speak on Jaclyn Hill's business and say this about her and say that about her and try to like manipulate and coerce us and silence us. You tried to do that, okay, Jeffree Star? You tried to do that. So now all these years later, you want to come out and talk about how you can't sell your shit on TikTok and that's a violation of your First Amendment rights, but you were trying to silence us as drama channels? That's rich, okay? That is rich coming from you, that you would even try to do that. But I got a different alternative for you, okay? Because you and James Charles, you are still knocking heads, aren't you, baby? You are still knocking heads, okay? So that's how Jeffree Star is responding to it, okay? Like a school principal that he is. Shaming everybody out there, okay? But let's look at a couple TikToks of how James Charles. We're going to end this, okay? On how James Charles is, what he's had to say. So here we go. Are you ready? Roll the footage, Frida!
Hey, so I know that none of us like want to have this conversation, but I do fear that it needs to be had at some point, and I would prefer that, you know, we're all on the same page. So I'm gonna go ahead and volunteer as tribute and just like get the ball rolling here. If TikTok does actually get banned and then eventually removed from our phones, right? Knock on wood. Where are we going to evacuate to? Like, what's our escape plan and where are we all gonna meet up? Because I don't wanna lose you bitches and I'm kind of fearful of that. I'll just like get the conversation started and say that I would prefer that it wasn't Instagram, to be completely honest with you, because like, one, fuck that app. Two, I've been losing followers on there every single day for the last 4 years and I really don't understand how the same content that I post on TikTok that'll get 1 million likes and so much positivity will literally receive like 5 likes and somehow 10 hate comments on Instagram. I do not understand how the audiences on the platforms are so different. I don't know if my girly pops have just left Instagram altogether and that's why I get so much love on TikTok here, or if my content on Instagram just isn't being shown to my girly pops that are still actually on the app. Either way, hate the idea of us all moving to an app where I don't have clout. Okay, that's boring, that's lame, and you guys are gonna miss the rants and tangents. However, I am a team player, okay? And if the group consensus is to move over to Instagram, I will do it, but you guys need to follow. Okay, you do need to go press the follow button and we will resume the content and regularly scheduled programming over there. Another alternative, of course, is YouTube. I've still been uploading YouTube videos every single Friday for the last several years straight. I'm one of the only bitches left doing it, so that's fine with me. However, YouTube Shorts is like not the vibe at all. And I can't post, I feel like I can't upload my high quality TikTok content and have the same like personality on YouTube Shorts because it's just like, the last one to take their hand off their Lamborghini with 10, and like, that's not the vibe. That's not the fucking vibe at all. So I don't know about that platform either. If there's another option, totally open to hearing that as well. But I think this is a good conversation starter. I'm glad that we got the ball rolling. Let's discuss and see where we need to go. Hey, so if we're like mass following our favorite content creators before TikTok gets banned, I would just love to like slip in a little request to be on the list. You know, I'm really close to 40 million, only like 500K away. Painted is really close to 1 million, only 50K away. Okay, if that's too much to ask, I do understand. I totally get it. I don't want to be selfish, but you know, I do feel like I was a big source of entertainment on this app this year. We got lots of rants, lots of tangents, the car series, lots of good videos, okay? So I would like to at least, you know, be considered for this honor.
So that's what James Charles has to say about the TikTok ban, okay? But I will say this about all this going on. You know, I'm not somebody that watches the TikTok. I've made that very clear. I love long-form content. I always will. I'll always be on the YouTube. And if the YouTube goes down at some point and they ban us over there, I'll be pissed. But I'll figure out something. I'll maneuver, you know? I'll pivot. I'll pivot somehow. I'll figure it out. And I think that shows, and I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about anybody, okay? When you can pivot and move from one platform to another, you know, you didn't hear a bunch of Viners crying back in the day about how they couldn't stay on Vine, you know? They just went to the next place, and a lot of them were really successful, you know? A lot of them were really successful on YouTube. A lot of them weren't. Maybe that's because you don't have no talent, you know? It's interesting to me that James Charles and Jeffree Star both said they don't want to go back to YouTube, when YouTube is where they got their start. I don't know, okay? All I know is this is where I'm at. And when they ban YouTube at some point, then I guess I'll go somewhere else and I'll figure it out, okay? And probably cry a river in between, because I love YouTube. It doesn't have to do with selling a bunch of shit over here. I hardly sell anything over here, you know? Except for myself. But, you know, when I'm looking at all this kind of stuff, I will say this. I'm not a big TikTok fan, but I will say this, okay? I know a lot of you people out there, a lot of you people, don't ever call anybody you. I know a lot of you guys out there love TikTok. My husband loves TikTok. I even said this to my husband last night. He's like, I don't even follow anybody that consistently. But whoever you love on TikTok, whoever you watch on a regular basis, whoever you are committed to watching right now, go and follow their Instagram. If they've started a YouTube account, go follow them on YouTube. They have a Facebook page. Help them out on Facebook, okay? A lot of these people did quit their, you know, I mean, the dream of an influencer, and I always say this, I said, do not quit your job over one viral video, but a lot of these people have. Sadly, they have, you know? But That's because a lot of people out there watch them and love them, okay? And we should be supporting anybody out there that's doing something creative and bringing enjoyment to our life. And if there's somebody out there that you like, go over, and I already have been doing this with people that I know are big on TikTok. I don't really watch them on TikTok, but I know other places. Go over there and help them on other things and follow them other places because you want to help their voice still continue to be heard, for them to still be able to have fun doing what they do and make some money off of it, okay? I will tell you this. Misnomer. I have a couple friends of mine that started on TikTok, and they mostly post on Instagram now. And what they have told me is that Instagram pays so much more and they get so many more views on Instagram Reels than they do on TikTok. So that story of that if TikTok is gone, they hate Instagram like James Charles said and stuff like that, baby, they can still get the same relevance on Instagram. They just don't want to go over there, okay, because of the restrictions. But it is what it is, okay? You always in life have to figure out where you have to pivot and move. Years and years and years and years and years ago, I read this book called Transitions, and it said in there that in 9 times throughout your life, you will make 9 transitional changes, career changes, most of them, okay? And what these people are being forced to do is come up with a new plan. What am I going to do now? Am I going to go to Instagram? Am I going to go to YouTube? Am I going to go to Facebook? Facebook is very successful for a lot of people. It's called pivoting. It's called moving. What am I going to do next? I was just talking about this in my vlog the other day, you know? What are you going to do next? And if somebody were sitting in front of me and they were a TikToker and they're like, I don't know what I'm going to do, what I would say to them is, I think this is really sad. I'm really sad for you because I know that you love it and you've made great income off of it. But I also think that this is offering you a great alternative and a different perspective of what can I do next? This might be the door opening to your next huge thing. It's all perspective. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.